The next selection, the 16th overall, belongs to the Miami Dolphins, and recently had a chance to talk with Coach Don Shula, and guess what side of the ball he's looking at?
We have to upgrade defensively. And last year we went for a defensive lineman in the first round, a linebacker in the second round. This year we're thinking possibly corner or safety. We still would like to get the pass rusher. I think everybody would like to have the great pass rusher. So we would have to give a defensive lineman consideration too.
So now the question comes. He's talking about defensive linemen. Is it a reach at the 16th pick to go with Stubbs, who played across town from Miami?
Yes.
Is it a reach to go with Scott Davis, defensive lineman? What do you think, Tom?
I've got the pick down as Michael Dean Perry, and even though he's not the great pass rusher, he's the guy who's going to solidify the line for him. It's not the fridge all over again. This kid is a kid who is going to come in shape. He's going to be ready to play 60 minutes. I think the pick is going to be, and I'll say it before I hear the phone call, Michael Dean Perry.
You implying
and you did. No, you did.
The problem with Perry is some say in a 3-4 he's not the nose tackle. In a 4-3 he's fine at a defensive tackle. Does this make sense, Perry?
Well, there's another problem with Perry. The pick is too logical. That's what they need. That's exactly what they need. And he is a legitimate mid to high first-round pick. He's a terrific nose tackle, defensive tackle. And when I talked to the guy I know from Miami, I said, it's got to be Perry, right? And he said, no, Clifford Charlton, a linebacker from Florida. So my choice is Clifford Charlton only because Perry makes too much sense, and this is what they told me.
A lot of people had said Clifford Charlton, too, and Shula was saying a couple days ago to some reporters, well, everyone has me picking Clifford Charlton. Why bother to pick? But maybe Miami trades down. We shall see. Now, as far as Miami goes, it's not as if they haven't tried to draft defensively lately. Last year, they went one Boza, defensive lineman from B.C., and Rick Graff, the linebacker from Wisconsin, in their blue-chip picks. In '86, the Dolphins picked John Offerdahl, who's turned out to be a tremendous player for them with their second-round selection. They didn't have a 1 then. In '85, they didn't have a 1 or a 2. In '84, they picked Jay Brophy, linebacker from Miami. So they've tried it. And this could be another year's in where maybe, they haven't got the standout blue chipper, and it doesn't look like there any there right now.
Oh, I think Perry's a blue chipper.
But you said it's too logical.
It's too logical. It would be a great pick for them because they need gut pressure. Now they have Boza who can put on a little bit of a rush. They have linebackers that maybe can do a little blitzing. You can get outside pressure, but if you can get that gut pressure, then you're really somewhere. And I think that's what this kid will give them.
It's interesting to note that in the first, 15 picks, the offense only leads 8-7. And why we say that is that we thought coming in, and Paul, you thought so, and Tommy too, that half of the picks in the first round, of course, we still have some to go, would be either backs or wide receivers.
No, it's 9-7 if Miami takes defense. I gave you that note. it's 9.
Well, listen, say what you mean then on these things. See, now,
I made it too complicated.
I finally sit down here with Zim after these years, and he's okay, I can see the way he operates. Make the TV guys look bad. Never mind. So the Dolphins are up next, and then the New England Patriots. So two teams in the AFC East, which is becoming an intriguing division, a division that anybody can win. Of course, Buffalo Bills do not have a first-round pick. Neither do the Indianapolis Colts. Colts don't have a first or a second. The Bills have a second, but no first. There is word that they might like to move into the first round. So this a place where Miami and New England have a shot, where Indianapolis and Buffalo do not. However, the question is, are these picks late in the first round of this draft equivalent to second rounds of other drafts? What do you think?
Oh, no. No. You're not going to get a Lorenzo White or Brad Muster. You're not going to get people like that in the second round of another draft.
Why would Miami go with
this is a good draft.
Why wouldn't they? Couldn't he? And he catches the ball great for a big guy. Why wouldn't that work?
He'd be a very good pick for them. He's a good player, but he's got an ankle. He's scaring people because he didn't take part in the workouts, and they're asking questions about him. And when you're drafting, especially when you're a team that's below 500 and you're drafting in the first round, you don't want to take chances.
It just makes sense to me, but then again, that's another one that I think they could change their offense a little bit for Muster. We have about only a minute and a half left for the Dolphins to make a selection.
They must be trying to make a trade if they're taking this long.
Maybe to go down, as there was word that they did not like the Charlton that everyone had given to them in print. And maybe they will be. We haven't had a trade yet today. Today,
No.
we're due. It's the due theory.
Yeah. How about Ironhead for him? No. Too iron.
No, I don't. I don't think so. Let's see. The Dolphins are filling in the card. And there it goes. So Miami, there it is. I have in my hand the envelope. And so the Dolphins and the crowd did getting edgy here. They said the Dolphins are taking too much time. But they have less than a minute to go. And then New England will be up, followed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steelers, you certainly think, would go a running back.
Steelers, they like Stevens very much, the big back from Northwest.
But he may not be there because New England may beat him to it. Here's Miami's.
Miami's selection in the first round is Eric Kumerow, defensive end, Ohio State.
It's an interesting choice. He's a tweener.
New England is up.
Well,
It's an interesting choice. He's a tweener. He's a big linebacker who could play down. He's about a 250-pound, 6'5", 6'6" linebacker that everybody said was an interesting player. That's the best I heard about him. Interesting.
well, an interesting selection by the Dolphins, who go with Kumerow. They are, I guess, are projecting him as the down lineman from Ohio State. And so Miami does go defense. They did go for need, as Coach Shula said. Now they've drafted the big kid who played linebacker at Ohio State, Eric Kumerow. They can just use as much help as possible. Let's face it, the Dolphins rank what? Overall on defense last year, 26, I believe.
You know, Tommy, TJ is new to this draft game. You don't go with logic in this business.
It just doesn't happen. Huh?
No, it
But
doesn't happen.
he could turn out to be a nice pro for them.
Who, Tommy?
Kumerow. That's right. Why didn't they draft you?
Alert the media, okay? 12 and a half minutes to go. Waiting on the selection of New England, the team that's got more picks in this draft, 15 than any other team. The question about Eric Kumerow, where will he play? Now, early in the draft process, we look at a guy like him at 240 pounds. Now you say he's up to 260, which may answer the question, where's he going to play, which was your big question about it.
Well, initially, I looked at Kumerow as a tweener, a guy you didn't know if he was strong enough or was going to get big enough to play defensive end, and you didn't know if he was athletic or quick enough to be an outside linebacker. He's up to 262 now. You know, you look at him, they feel it's at the 6'7" frame you're talking about. He should be able to carry about 280, 285 in 2 or 3 years. So I think what Shula was trying to do is build up that front seven. Last year he had Graff and Bosa. Of course, he has Offerdahl. He's going to move Turner inside, maybe to a nose tackle spot. So I think in the long run, what he's trying to do is get the tall guys who can rush that passer, you know, really disrupt the quarterback to a certain extent, because all these kids, you're talking about Graff and Bosa, and now Kumerow had those long arms, and of course Kumerow has that frame to carry probably about 280. I think it was a reach. I think Kumerow should have been a second-round choice. I really do. I still think he won't be a dominant player, and I still think to a certain extent he fits into that tweener category, because when you're talking about projecting that he can carry 280, and you look at his college career as a guy, you know, he had a decent career, but I don't think he was worthy of this high a choice. I think this is another major reach. I personally would have gone against the grain a little bit, but I would have taken Craig Hayward for the simple reason that in 3rd and 2, Miami can be in a shotgun. I'm serious. And you're talking about a team that might drive up to the 45-yard line, and all of a sudden they're in that shotgun, and they throw an incomplete pass, and Roby comes out the punt. Hayward keeps those drives alive for you. So, but, you know, Kumerow, I can see the reason why they took Kumerow, forcing that defensive line pick with a guy who didn't play the position in college.
And it's the first, not off the wall, but off the board prediction from your top 40. The first prediction not among your top 40. So Dolphins need defensive help. They've gone defense for the last 5 years in round 1. We're standing by. Hey, Thurman Thomas might be drafted shortly. We'll see.